And we're good. Gold.
All right. The Secret Stage podcast begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the Secret Stage podcast featuring Jared, Miguel, and Ramses, a Scarlet Rhapsody podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Secret Stage podcast. We are back happily on Sunday after the Super Bowl kind of threw off our schedule. And we are ready to party it up. We are ready to talk about the video games. And like last week, we have a cool interview. So stay tuned for that a little later in the show. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Had a whole week off by myself, and now just enjoying the company of my wife and kid now.
I have returned!
And we have Becky back.
Yay!
And baby Miguel too.
Yep. So let's not dilly-dally since we have an interview coming up soon. So let's go ahead and start it off with what you've been playing. And I've been playing, well, if you've been tuning into our Saturday streams, you guys will know that I've been playing the Legend of Zelda series, most recently the Conquest of Link to the Past. And I've been playing more Rogue Legacy. I've been playing a game that I will have an review of after the interview. With the next Penelope, and as well as the game that you're going to be seeing here, live streaming, is Castle in the Darkness.
All right, Ramses, you want to hit up what you've been playing?
Sure, might as well. I've been playing a lot recently, unlike the last couple of weeks where I haven't been really get up to playing a lot of games. Now it's like all of a sudden I have like this sudden craze to start playing a lot of games. I think we should start with I started playing Super Mario Land 1. Wow, that game is so hard. It's as hard as I mean, that game is so hard. And I thought how did I beat this game when I was 8? I don't know.
Well, practice. That's why. When you had only a handful of games on your Game Boy, you had to just rotate between them. That's how it happens.
True. Alright, so after that, I started playing, other than my usual games of Animal Crossing, I started playing, because I started watching this channel called Some Call Me Johnny. He made a review on a particular game, and this particular game was Sonic Adventure 1. And I started playing it. I had Sonic Adventure DX on my Steam, and I was like, might as well, might as well pop it in and see what's up with that game. And surprisingly, I really enjoyed the game. I did not expect that. I did not expect to really enjoy Sonic Adventure DX. I thought oh my god, time didn't do any favors. But no, it's a great game. I was surprised by it. The only thing is, it's little things that make the game kind of weird for me, and it's more like cosmetic things. But that's as far as I'll go with it. But it has a little bit of cosmetic problems. Other than that,
the game came out in 1999.
Yeah, it was a launch title. What's up?
The Dreamcast launch title. It will show a little bit of age.
Yeah, but it's
You should take it back. There's no excuse to have age shown in an HD version.
Yeah, that's my problem. It's for me, it's hey, when this game was made was I think 2007 at least, and you can at least fix a lot of things. It's their mouths move like they have peanut butter in their mouths, and I'm Sonic comes off as the world's biggest jackass because he has all his peanut butter stored up in his mouth. But other than that, I'm slowly picking away at it. I'm playing a stage a day, and it's I'm really enjoying it. I never thought it's been a while since I actually enjoyed a Sonic game like this, and I'm trying to remember what else I started playing, because I'm pretty sure I played a couple other things as well. I'm trying to think of what else I haven't been playing. I've just been playing a lot of games because recently when we get to the news later, I bought a lot of the games that I got a lot of the games that are on that Club Nintendo closeout. So I've been playing a little bit of those as well. I'll get to what games I bought. And finally, because because they had a sale on these at Toys R Us, I brought 2 more amiibos. I brought Link and I brought Samus.
Nice.
All right.
So I am set for Friday.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, the new 3DS.
We'll get to it later.
We'll get to it later. Yeah, I know, kiddo. I ended up playing some Diablo, co-oping with friends, because that's what makes Diablo fun. Super hard difficulty, plus friends. A little bit of Pokemon, not as much as I have been playing, because work has been getting in the way. However, I've been having this craving, as I mentioned on previous shows, about wanting to play some old school games again. So I've had a Genesis binge over / Mega Drive for some of these games. Binge for the last couple of days. I'd say last 4 days or something. Maybe 5. And I played Saint Sword, which I almost want to do a review on this game because this feels like one of those hidden treasures of frustratingly hard but very rewarding games. Robocop vs. Terminator, which I got to the end 209 boss fight and then died against him a couple of times. I was like, oh, to hell with this. The music is so cheesy, but the game is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that game was it's like that game. That game was meant to take your quarters, but that game, but you realize that eventually it's like, wait a minute, there's no quarters to play in.
Yeah. In addition to that, I played James Bond 007 The Duel, a game I've been looking for 3 years, and man, is that massively disappointing. I know you like the game a bit, Ramses. It just the game has a lot of little flaws. I'd love to do a stream of it just to discuss the flaws of the game.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like the stuff you hated, I actually like. That's the weirdest thing.
I hate the platforming. I will forgive everything in that game except the platforming. The controls for the jumps and stuff like that are terrible.
And the thing is, I like those jumps because it makes you. Because I like those kind of precise things that make you think on your feet.
I wanted to have fun. That was kind of the game.
Again, we'll I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna sit down one of these days on a live stream, turn on all the cheats, and then we're just gonna go through the game and just talk about what we like and what we didn't like.
Look at the cheat. That's not fair. I was playing for realsies. I was playing legit cheats. I'll go in with unlimited ammo and unlimited health. But yeah, I'll go and have a lot of fun with that game. No fall damage. But yeah, okay. Castlevania Bloodlines, which, God, I forgot how difficult that game was. To put it in perspective, in the second level, you have to do 3 mid-bosses in a row.
Which game again?
Right after going up the whole section here. Castlevania Bloodlines. You have to take on this water wizard guy who just fills up the stage with water, and you can drown and die. So you got to hit him really fast and beat him. And on normal difficulty, that's almost impossible unless you have really precise timing and luck, or a crud ton of spare usable items. Then you have to take on a minotaur, and then you have to take on a suit of armor with a big axe. It's just a massive pain. The boss of each of the levels aren't that difficult, except for I forgot the German factory boss. That's as far as I got to, and I got frustrated because I was like, how do I beat this guy again? I keep doing no damage to him. So that was annoying. But the game's level design is really cool. I actually really like all the different levels and the different locations you go to around Europe. But little bit of some of the gimmicky segments get a little annoying, as part in the linear piece of level where you get to jump to all these little platforms in the sky. It's not really hard platforming, it's kind of a scrolling screen kind of thing, and if you're at the bottom of the screen, you'll die. Or if you're cut off by the edge of the screen, you'll die.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing that was
kind of annoying. It's not difficult, it's just a little
Whoa!
It's just annoying, that's all I'm saying.
Hold on, we got some interesting news. The creator of the game is in our chat right now.
Awesome.
Of which game? Oh, wait,
the game we're streaming. Yes.
Nice. That is awesome. Okay, we're going to have to talk more about Castle in the Darkness when we get a little further in the show. And then, obviously, post-show, we're definitely going to have to keep going on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, well then
sorry
I'll put my continue.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no. I mean, I sent out a tweet saying, "Hey, check out the game." It's like, here he is, and you know what? Thank you so much for coming in. I didn't think no one's gonna listen, but thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully you enjoy the show, and hopefully you enjoy the stream of us playing. And sorry for interrupting you, but it's like this is actually very big.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I will take an interruption for something like that. But then beyond Bloodlines and all those other Genesis games, I played 3 Mega Drive games from Japan. 2 of which on recommendation from Ramses, or 1.5 of which was recommended by Ram. So the first I played was Fushigi no Umi no because I wanted to see what the Nadia game was. It turns out it's an RPG and I could beat figuring out what the different menu things mean. After that, I have no idea what to do. I wandered around, I collected an item, I don't know where to use it or what to do with it because everything's in Japanese. And I'm like, I don't know what to do now. I always want to do like a let's fail, like instead of a let's play, it'll just be a let's fail. So just go through and to that point now I go, well, I don't speak Japanese, I have no idea what to do, so I failed. There's your 5-minute play of the Nadia RPG. Then, arguably the best thing I played all week. I mean, I had the most fun playing the Sailor Moon side-scrolling beat-em-up game for the Genesis. Oh my god, that is so much fun. I didn't realize I could change how many continues I had, so I beat Zoisite as Ray, and then I died shortly thereafter. And then I went through, changed my amount of continues I had, and went through as Jupiter and beat the entire game. And there's nothing more satisfying than when you do like one of their little wrestling drops on friggin' Queen Beryl. I can't imagine Queen Beryl getting like body up by something like whatever the suplex or whatever.
Her Final Fantasy using a suplex on a new train or whatever. Suplexing a train.
Let's see.
And what?
Yeah.
What?
It's just
Very annoying.
Yeah, but keep going.
It's 5 levels, and it's not a long game, but it's frustrating sometimes, but a lot of fun. Except for Ray, I could never figure out how to use fire. Like, I did this little, I used her special, which is a spin kick, which is nice, but, what's the point of playing as Mars if you can't light stuff on fire? And Jupiter, all I could do, the only special move I figured out was her little whirlwind thing, which is just tapping the C button. And it was that was a little disappointing for me as well. I wanted to drop some lightning on people. And then I did a little bit as Venus just to see how she played. I kind of like the fact that her whip is like her standard weapon. That's actually pretty cool. But yes, if you can find this game, you don't need to know what the text is if you've watched the first season of Sailor Moon. You have a general idea. Bad guys are bad. Let's hit them with stuff. Tuxedo Mask is good. He gives you a rose which will restore your life.
That's what it says? Okay.
Yep. Restores your life to max.
Well, I was always wondering about that.
That's what you've been playing, Jared?
I played one more game which was kind of recommended by Ramses, but it's kind of terrible. Might be one of the worst games I played all week. The Hokuto no Ken game. The Fist of the Genesis game. Oh my god, is this game broken? It plays kind of like, if you're familiar with the game Kung Fu on the NES, it basically plays like that, where guys just run at you from forward and backward and you just hit them and they go away. So it does that, which is fine, except for the fact that you have no extra lives, you have one life bar, you only restore health if you beat a boss. The bosses are insanely hard. I was only able to beat, I don't remember the character's name, so I'll just call him what he looks like. Hulk Hogan. I beat Hulk Hogan in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hulk Hogan looking guy in the Coliseum. I beat him on one route. The cool part is when you beat a level, you can choose your route through the stage, through the world, which is kind of cool. I dig that. I got to the short, fat guy, whose name I also forget, but he has like a ranged attack and just destroyed me, and I couldn't get close enough to him to hit him. He has like no life bar. You just got to get close to him and hit him once or twice, and you beat him. But I only fought him.
The guy you're thinking of, his name is Basque.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the villain names in Fist of the North Star because they don't live long enough for me to remember their names. Even his like face almost explodes, and then he puts like that little like wrap around it so you can hold his head in place. Even that dude, who they used in the movie, still I don't remember that guy's name. I just call him the face wrap guy.
Oh, he's Jackie. He's one of his brothers. Anyways, let's move on.
I wish the game was so much better. Like you could feel the potential in that game for just what you could do with that. But honestly, if you want to Fist of the North Star game, go play Ken's Rage.
No arguments here at this point. I won't be on that.
It's a Muso game, so it gets repetitive, but it's just it feels so satisfying when you explode people in that game. So
yeah. But I mean, I like it because it just gets to the basics. I mean, fine. Yeah, I understand. It's like this is gonna be a continuing theme as we go along with the Genesis games that I recommended. You might not like it for the things I like it for.
Well, I thought the game was fun. It's just one life, no health. That just gets frustrating. When I can't beat the first level of a game, I can beat several stages in it. That's easy, but when I can't beat the first level, that bothers me. That's one of my rules. If I cannot beat your first level, your game is not made right. Because I'm a fairly skilled gamer, and I get frustrated. And I mean, on normal difficulty, with the normal amount of lives, if I can beat your first level, your game is messed up. That's my general view on game design. I'm not asking for something to be easy. I'm just saying it should be beatable by a person of higher level skill.
I don't know. Is that it?
Yep, that's my list.
Alright.
That was the game I was complaining about while we were waiting in pre-show. I said, we'll talk about it on the show. That was Hokuto no Ken. I'd also like to play a Let's Fail for Hokuto no Ken, actually. How far can Jared get? Well, I just got killed by Hulk Hogan, so that's the episode. Thanks, guys, for watching Watch Jared Fail. But yeah, we can move on to the news.
It's like, you're the one that tells us this. Come on.
Yeah.
So, news-worthy stuff, you guys.
Yeah, we get some cool news stuff here. Or, you want to say something?
I want to say that on the rumor wire, we have the Legend of Zelda Netflix original series going on right now. We haven't been tied to any official writer or anything saying it's slated in stone that it is official. It's just in talks right now. So, and I know it's been an uproar since it was announced. You know, like, well, how can you go about with a protagonist that doesn't speak and only grunt? How do you go about doing it?
You know what
and of course, we all remember the 90s cartoon, late 80s, really 90s cartoon, and the Philips of the Eye game where Link actually got a voice, right?
Well, you know what I was going to say here, just from a writing perspective and storytelling perspective, it would be really interesting to do a Legend of Zelda series where Link is actually a mute, where he literally cannot talk, he can't. He's just unable to do so. Now that should be kind of a cool thing to kind of roll with, where the only ways he can even communicate to people is nods and waving his hands and stuff like that. I think that could be an interesting way to kind of write the character. Just he's just a mute. He just is. That'd be kind of cool. But I think it comes down to whatever actor they're going to get and what age they want to make that actor. Are we doing young Link? Are we doing teenage Link? Are we doing an adult Link? Link's age has varied throughout the games, and getting someone to not only look like the character. Oh, also, what hair color Link do you want to do? Brown hair, blonde hair, pink hair? I say they should have just done like they have on you can watch the little videos online of the misadventures of Link, where it's just Toon Link doing silly stuff. Like they should just make a thing out of that. Honestly, I'd be happy enough with that. Here's a 30-minute TV series built on the misadventures of Link. Just Toon Link doing silly stuff.
Yeah. For me, I was thinking, you don't necessarily have to focus on Link. I mean, it is the Legend of Zelda after all, and one of the interesting aspects they can try doing is like focusing on Princess Zelda and have her be like have her like see how she was training with with Impa and becoming Sheik and doing all the stuff with Impa.
That could be kind of a correction.
There's plenty of ways to go with this game. With the Netflix original series. The thing about it is, you can't. It depends on how long you want to go. Is this going to be a one-season thing? Is this going to be a multi-season thing? Because if it's a one-season thing, you can churn out 26 episodes and make it one big epic, or it can be how it is with all the different types of games out there too.
Based on like Hyrule Warriors, you could do kind of like a more of a war story kind of thing out of it, where you could focus on multiple different people within the Hyrule universe and kind of work that direction. That could be a kind of an interesting way to go. That way you can avoid having to do all the dungeon diving and that kind of stuff. It's more of armies being moved forward and whatever political intrigue you want to have kind of go on behind the scenes. That could actually be really kind of cool.
Yeah, like I said, that's all fine. That's all fine and well, and that actually bypasses a lot of like. Okay, we got characters that can't talk. Let's focus on characters that can talk, and let's like work around that.
Yeah.
Or like, so it's like so I'm thinking.
Or they can also do it how they did with Hyrule Warriors as well, where they have the fairy talking for him. Proxy, the fairy in Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, it sounds a little like it'd be kind of cool to do a whole put it into the Ocarina of Time setting, but it's within those 7 years. It's in the time gap, so the hero of time just isn't there because he's hibernating and have you and won't be there until he's the proper age in the future. So you could really build a whole thing of like just Ganon conquering the hell out of everything.
Yeah, you can do that too.
The rise of Ganon. That's actually. I've been toying on the idea ever since I saw Hyrule Warriors and you can play as Ganon. It's like, how would a Zelda series be if you can play as Ganon?
Well, it'd be pretty dark, and it's not particularly Shigeru Miyamoto's vision of the universe. Even the darkest moments in those games are not super dark in-house. Now, Shigeru Miyamoto wants it to still be fun and happy. However, I have a plan. Legend of Zelda Rising, and it features Ganon. And it's just Metal Gear Rising, but it's just you play as Ganon. So you just run around as Ganon, killing the hell out of stuff. In a super violent Platinum Games sort of way.
What was the TV show we're talking about, so?
I still want to see that. Just super violent Ganon TV show. Really
Alright, works for me.
We took a game and made a rated R movie out of it. Be amazing.
Well, like I said, it can go either way. It's all rumor. It's all conjecture right now. But it seems to be more towards for me. I think it's like I'm willing to believe it until I see it. But it seems to be part of the course of right now about what's going on with Nintendo trying to expand a lot of what they're doing with their properties. So it's like I wouldn't be surprised if like eventually we're gonna like this becomes a reality.
I wouldn't mind to see Nintendo take some steps to make live action or CG movies out of some of their major properties.
We all remember Mario Brothers.
I know, but now it's enough time for them to make it. Well, I think now we're at a time where they could make a new Mario Brothers and things would kind of could work. You could do it now. We have better special effects and stuff like that, and we could make it work. Granted, a fat plumber jumping on turtles does not sound like the most exciting movie. I'm sure there's something they could do to make it really kind of cool and interesting.
Well, I was thinking they don't necessarily have to stick to like the mainstay Nintendo stuff. If they wanted to do something, they can go Fire Emblem.
Or they can go Star Fox.
I was thinking Star Fox. I would love to see a CG Star Fox movie.
Or CG
Actually,
Star Fox show.
Because of Guardians of the Galaxy, you could possibly make it a live-action Star Fox TV show. But everyone's an animal. Everyone's an animal. You may as well just stick with CG. I mean, if you're going to CG all the main characters, you may as well CG everything.
Yeah, Or unless they're gonna do it like Gary Anderson show, and that'd be even more awesome. Gary Anderson, the guy who made Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, that'd be so cool if there was like this puppet show. With those puppets, with how the puppets look like how they looked in the first Star Fox game. Oh, that'd be so awesome. That freakishly really realistic. Oh my god, that'd be so awesome. I'm down with that.
It's gonna be one of those. Gonna get that Star Fox TV series, but it's gonna be based on dinosaur adventures, and we're all gonna be like, what? Why? Why did you do that?
The less crystal, the better.
Yeah, really.
But no, go on.
Hunting down like mushrooms of your little dinosaur friend and inane side quests that go nowhere, the better.
But yeah, like I said, it's all different things, you know. And like I said, right now, it seems like Nintendo's they're expanding their stuff that they got. They're expanding their stocks, if you will. They're stretching their stocks out.
Here's the deal with Netflix. They're in talks with Nintendo. Netflix is very optimistic. Nintendo, nothing's come out from them. There's no Nintendo Direct where they're like, hey, guess what? We're working with Netflix, and here's a preview. You know, that hasn't come out yet. And until Nintendo specifically says, yes, this is happening, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. But a Fire Emblem done in the style of Game of Thrones would be freaking amazing in my book. Give me my rating on it.
With that.
I don't necessarily need to see some of those female characters naked, but I'm not against it either.
Since we're on the rumor thing, can I talk about one little rumor as long as I didn't want to talk about this? I didn't want to put it in.
As long as we don't make a big deal, as long as we don't go too far into it, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Gotta stick with facts and not with rumors. You know?
Yeah, the thing is, it's a rumor that came out of Unseen 64, and apparently they found details of an unmade 3D 2.5 Zelda game for the 3DS.
Huh.
And this is the details that they've discussed so far. Because this was only on the podcast, and it's only for those who are on Patreon. So this is from a transcript from what they said. It was going to be a 2.5 side-scroller entry. We worked on a pretty popular Western developer. I don't know about that. A 30-second prototype video had surfaced, so it's running around somewhere on the internet. It showed Samus running through a series of corridors until they finally got to a boss fight. The boss was supposed to be Krang, and it was going to have a very different art style. Samus was depicted as being more thin and athletic, so that's part of course how she looks.
Yeah.
Nintendo didn't like the idea. They didn't want to take a risk with a 2.5 Zelda game, and it's because because of the lukewarm responses of other M that they just shot it down.
Question: 2.5 Zelda game or 2.5 Metroid game?
2.5D, as in like it's 2D, but you can move around in like 3D environments, like Tomba.
Because you've been saying Zelda, and you've been
Metroid.
So this is going to be an alternate other game done by a Western developer?
Yeah.
Honestly, it could not be the other M. I'm just going to throw that out there. And yes, I know, I'm part of the other M hate wagon, whatever, I don't care.
I don't know, I like the other M.
I like Prime, thank you very much. And I like my 2D Metroids a lot, so...
But yeah, it seems kind of interesting that they were going to do it. Apparently, a lot of what was being pointed at is that it was going to be a anniversary game, and I'm pretty sure what it was. In my opinion, I think it was going to be a 3D classic Zelda or Zelda 1. But that's I don't know. Until more information surfaces, I'm going to
Zelda.
Saying Zelda, is it Zelda or is it Metroid?
Metroid,
Guys, take a breather. I'll do some more stories, okay? Alright,
moving on.
Moving on to some stories. For those of you who are fans of Bayonetta, there is an 8-bit version that was released by Platinum Games. I thought my link was broken. Turns out it's on the 404 page. So... Yep. So that threw me off, because I just thought my link was broken. I was like, link is broken. Whatever. Nope, it's real. You can look it up. It's easy to find. Go and play a few rounds. It's a really difficult. It's Ghosts and Goblins hard. So have fun with that. Speaking of things that are going to be difficult, but for completely different reasons, Witcher 3 has announced its install size on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's going to be 50 gigs. Oh my god. Even if you have the 500 gig version of those systems, that's 1/10 of your hard drive dedicated to one game. I can't even imagine that. That is crazy. For PC, it's supposedly going to be 40 gigs. So therein lies the big question: is why is it a larger install on the consoles than it is on PC? Which I guess maybe goes down to the fact that PCs have, their hardware's different than console hardware, obviously. But it's one of those things to go, wow, that is difficult to deal with in a completely different way. I hate fighting for systems. I hate fighting for file size on my systems.
Yeah, well, the good news is like those systems have like 500 gigabytes, but that's still like one. That's that's still a good chunk of your hard drive right there. If you do get like a 500, if you do get one, so it's like by default, most of the systems are actually 500 gigabytes.
Yeah, so it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it still has to be a long install. That's just start the install. I guess I'll go and take a shower, cook some dinner, take the dog on the walk.
I think also you can alleviate a lot of the issue, but by installing a solid state drive. Like a lot of those new systems actually allow the solid state drive to be installed. Mm-hmm. So it's like once you put it in, it's just instantaneous. Especially if it's on like a download that you have to download from a server.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then that's not gonna be a problem. If it's loaded up from the disk, then that's fine. But if you have to get it from the internet, you're gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, it's really gonna depend. That hasn't been specifically stated yet. Just that it's looking like it's gonna be a lot of memory to install the game, but it might be totally worth it. The game looks beautiful, and it'd be a lot of fun. And honestly, it's one of the few things I'm really looking forward to on a next generation system. Just because I don't have a PC that's going to run that thing in any sort of beauty levels that I'd want it to run it on. Oh, speaking of reasons to get a next generation system, the Persona 5 trailer came out. And it's a trailer. It has a lot of Persona-esque visuals. Or actually, my original joke I had when I watched it was, how was it? This stupid Persona game is totally ripping off Danganronpa that invented this look and design. People did not find that as funny as I did.
Oh god. Danganronpa totally ripped off this Persona game. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is ripped off every Persona game. And it's one of those things where whenever I point that out, Danganronpa fans always get on my case. Like, no, they're completely different. I'm like, no, they're not. They're exactly the same.
No, they're the same fucking thing. I totally agree with you.
They have the exact same visual aesthetic. They have that same doom and gloom. They have the same, let's go to school, now let's go climb a tower. It's the exact same crap. Conception also stole that, okay, folks? But Conception is a lot more fun because it's literally designed around hooking up with girls to create monsters to help you fight in a dungeon. And that in and of itself makes that game unique and cool. That being said, there's one thing I noticed in this game. I don't know if you noticed it, Ramses. Someone else pointed it out to me, actually. I think after I saw it, and then I went back, and I was like, oh my god, you're absolutely right. There's this guy they show really quick who looks like he's in a jail cell, and he has this black and white striped shirt, and he looks exactly like an older version of the mysterious boy, because I'm not giving out spoilers, from Persona 3. And that could make for some interesting story connections if it is that character.
To let you know, that's not it. That's your main character.
Yeah. That's the main character.
Sorry for breaking the illusion.
I wanted it to connect to Persona 3 in a really cool way, but no. We could also not. That's great. And my beer's empty. I'm gonna get another beer.
Well, to be honest with you, go on.
No, it's just mumbling.
Okay, well, for me, I'm hyped for this. I'm really hyped. I'm hyped for the concept of you have to be a thief and all this stuff, and like the concept of jail, and like it's. I just want to know more about like what they mean by like when they first talked about the very first trailer for the game was like, do you want to be emancipated? Do you will you want to be a free? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Especially like in the context of this game, where it's like you have to be a thief. What are you trying to rob? What are you trying to do? I'm intrigued. I really want to see what this game's all about, especially how it's going to work with this story, and also like how the monsters are going to work in as well.
Well, the one thing that kind of would make this interesting is, a lot of the Persona games, especially 3 and 4, really play off of this, of having an alternate world sort of place that you go to, and why not have the prison be the hub to that alternate world?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The real question, though, is every single character you're going to have like your social interactions with be a prisoner, or are they going to be found in that alternate world, which could be make social interactions way different?
Instead of being a velvet room, it's a velvet prison, and the assistants to Igor are dressed up as prison guards. The kids are dressed in prison guard outfits.
Yeah.
Too bad. I liked him having a pretty lady. He's had one since Persona 1.
Yeah, but it's like this could be different, and it's like they've been playing it recently. It's like you can choose what kind of person if you want to have a pretty boy or a pretty girl. So it's like you have best of both worlds with that one.
Yeah, finally, because the only other times you've had that option is on the piss. I do not play the piss.
The piss was good.
Yeah, a lot of people like the piss. I do not have the piss, so I do not play piss games.
Yes. I should stream the piss game one of these days.
Yeah.
Because I actually have the piss game somewhere. But regardless, but I do want to know like how things are gonna turn out. It seems to be so radically different from Persona 3 and 4. Because it seems like Persona 3 and 4 Persona 3 and 4 had like this uniform style to each other.
Yeah.
So it's like. So it's like I just want to see like how it's all gonna play out again. I'm intrigued. I'm totally gonna get it, despite all the jokes and all that stuff. I know you're saying like, hey, it's gonna be a trailer, and I know you. But it's like for me, I just wanna know what's for me at least. I wanna know more. I'm hyped. I can't wait for this game to come out. Like this year?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not as hyped as you. But I like the Persona series. I like anything where I can actually where I feel like I'm having a real interaction with the world, and that's what Persona really is gotten good at, with just the social interactions and the school-related things, which don't seem to be going to be as big of an issue in 5. Although in the trailer they do show a quick glimpse of people in a high school classroom, so who knows?
Yeah.
But
Go on.
Was that Becky?
Shows the protagonist getting hit in the head with a razor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The teacher's like, hey, they pay attention.
1 coin, really?
1 coin.
So it looks like there's a lot of potential in this game. I mean, it's part of a great franchise. I mean, I like the Shin Megami Tensei franchise in general. The Persona games are nice just because it feels like I have interaction on the world. It feels like I can affect the outcome of events based on kind of who I'm talking to, and learning more about people's backstories and becoming friends with different people, dating different people. I like that aspect of the game, and a lot of RPGs don't have that level of interaction with the characters. I like the Tales of series, but the most interaction I can have with the characters is occasionally triggering little sequences of the characters talking to each other, but it doesn't feel like I'm having an interaction with the characters. It's the characters are interacting with each other. In the Personaverse, I mean, it's really well designed too that your protagonist is you. Well, literally in part 5 or part 4 rather. So it's definitely in that category of I like the idea of being able to lead my character and choose what he says and how he interacts in certain situations. And you know what? I might play through part 5 just as a girl, just for funsies.
Yeah.
I'll have to see what the character designs are and decisions afterwards.
Yeah. So like I said, like this is gonna finally let me, like I said on my Facebook, finally I get to be Tuxedo Mask with Happy from Fairy Tail with me.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, I'm hyped for this game.
Got Lupin in my Persona.
Exactly. Alright,
So we'll things.
is that it?
Moving on, we have a couple of industry-type news things. Sadly, there are some layoffs at EA Montreal, mostly in their mobile division. So I don't know if they're just gonna... EA is going to be dropping on their mobile side of things, or what that means, but that's interesting for speculation. And hey, finally Canada gets some layoffs. That's nice. We've been mostly getting them here in the US. So take that, Montreal.
I'm looking through a lot of EA Montreal's games. They haven't really done much.
Okay, so maybe that's why. It's just for lack of production.
Like the last game they made was Army of Two: Devil's Cartel.
That was years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's like, if that's your last game and it's like you haven't made anything much, you're not even a mobile game, hey, you got something to come.
Yeah, so that's probably what the thing is. On that note, yes, baby, I know. On the note of different things inside the industry thing, the Kickstarter for Underworld Ascendant has announced that Warren Spector, who was the designer behind Deus Ex and Epic Mickey, or one of the designers in these games, has come on as creative advisor. For those who don't know, Underworld Ascendant is the spiritual successor to the Ultima Underworld series. It has a Kickstarter going now, but since that game was so niche, I'm not sure how well this project is going to turn out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's like Tom too. It's just like, no, like Ultima, like already like the kind of things Warren Spector name might be able to intrigue people. But at the end of the day, too, it's like I don't think that many people like who are putting in money in current Kickstarters are not at the age to know what's going on with a game like Ultima.
Yeah, and right now Chris Roberts is stealing everybody's money with Star Citizen, so there's not enough money to go around. Video game Kickstarters are not going to do as well as you'd like, just because everyone's giving their money to Star Citizen. And it's $trillion of money that it's made at this point.
Oh, that and the Kickstarter for the Mega Man action figure as well.
Yes, the Mega
Man action figure. Looking so good. Shout out to them for making that 1,000 figure.
Yes, TruForceToy.
We have a couple points of Nintendo news here that's just basically going to wrap up our news segment. The first is just the frustration thing, because I've recently found out that Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is coming out for the 3DS, the new 3DS, and only on the new 3DS, because it has enough processing power to allow this port to play. And I am very, very angry because now they finally have a game that makes me want to get a new 3DS. And I said, oh, it's going to be a while before they get a game. I'm not going to need to get all anxious about getting the system ready. No, Xenoblade Chronicles, right? Thanks, dicks.
Well, not only that, the Majora's Mask game also supports the 3DS as well to have move the camera angle around with the C-stick as well.
Yeah, but that's not as important to me. Like, Majora's Mask is great and all, but I'm not feeling the whole like, oh my god, I need to play Majora's Mask again. You know, versus I've never played Xenoblade Chronicles. It's made by the production team that I really like, and the only reason I never played it is because it took forever for it to come out on the Wii, basically. And then once it came out in the US, it's impossible to find. So yeah, that.
Except if you have $100 to spend a GameStop for it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But who knows? Maybe a little virtual console for the Wii U when X comes out. Anyhow, continuing on with Nintendo, Nintendo is offering print and cutout Valentine's Day cards for free on their web zone. There are 6 cards in each of the different sets, and the sets are themed around Mario, Zelda, Kirby, and Yoshi.
So the one they gotta have a heart piece or something like that for it. They have to reference that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, not interesting to see. I mean, it's out. You can check them out if you want. it's Valentine's Day has never been a major thing for me. I saw like the Mario set; it looked cheesy. I mean, because there's only so much you can do with like a Mario themed Valentine. But I'm curious about the Zelda ones. I'm curious about the Kirby ones. But the last kind of point of Nintendo news, which we did kind of briefly allude to, is the Club Nintendo closing down, and the insane list of games are now available for you to spend your hard-earned coins on. So if you want to go and spam your coins out, there's a bunch of actual, like, real merchandise, such as a Nintendo 3DS game card case. There is a Mario desk calendar. There are Animal Crossing cards, several different poster sets, t-shirts, and 800 coins for those rare people who have that. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D Messenger Bag. Yes, a full-on messenger bag for 800 coins. Expensive, but totally. And then the games list is crazy. Just go down to the side. There's too many for us to list or talk about. We did talk about them a little bit on the Saturday show, but man, it's just so much stuff. You know, especially on the Wii U, you can get every Mario game: Mario 1, Lost Levels 2, 3, World, and Yoshi's Island, all on the Wii U. And they have a lot of full games on the Wii U as well, including like NES Remix, The Wonderful 101, Wii Fit U, Game & Wario, Wii Party U, and they have the same thing for all the other systems and a handful of other games that are full games, in addition to a large chunk of full console stuff. For the games are not full games for the Wii. It's all virtual console stuff for the Wii. So Wii U has full games, and so does 3DS. The 3DS ones are. Give me a moment.
3DS games are the moment. I got them right here. Full games that you can buy. Brain A's Concentration Training. New Super Mario 3D Land. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Star Fox 64 3D. Paper Mario Sticker Star, and Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Crosswords Plus.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say when we were talking over each other. It's definitely one of those things where if you have the room on your 3DS and you already own a bunch of other smaller games, one of those might not be such a bad addition. But for the prices, I would like to point out that you get like 3 or 4 games for the cost of one of those games. So it really comes down to whatever you personally want. And if you don't want to download anything and you just want a cool knick-knack, there's always the cool knick-knack side of things. But yeah, it's pretty big. So. Yeah. But it's a pretty big treasure trove of different things you can pick up.
Yeah, I always pick up a few of these games. I picked up Mario Land 2. I already got a bunch of these already, so I picked up like tennis, I picked up golf, and yeah, because I already got a bunch of these games already. So it's like I picked up those games just so I can get rid of all my points. The only major game I picked up from this list is Twin Bee 3D Classic, which is surprisingly really good.
Yeah, it's really my style of game, but it's definitely something worth checking out for those who are into the overhead shooters.
Yeah, and like, oh, okay, so. So, I mean, what do you guys? I mean, what do you think of some of the games that are on this list? Like, there's some here that's like that have like that this is like your last chance to buy this to get this game. Like Doc Lewis's Punch Out. This is the only way you can get Doc Lewis's Punch Out.
Yeah, Dr. Luigi's on there as well for those who like the Dr. Luigi game, which I don't know if that is still available, not around or not either at this point.
Well, Dr. Luigi, I think like you can get that like regularly on the.
Is it available regularly still? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the big one is Doc Lewis's Punch Out because that was only available for Club Nintendo when it was launched, and now it's back. So it's like this might be your last opportunity to get Doc Lewis's Punch Out.
Yep, which is designed in the Punch Out Wii version, but it's Little Mac sparring with Doc Lewis, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good if you want it's a short game, but it's a demo basically of Punch Out for the Wii. But hey, it's a good companion piece to the game that just got released not too long ago for $9.99. So it's like if you want to get the complete experience, you get Doc Lewis's Punch Out as well.
Yeah. And in addition to that, they have Classic Punch Out and Super Punch Out on there as well.
Yeah,
for both. Really need to punch things.
Yes. The one I find interesting is you can get Zelda. You can get Star Fox 64 for the Wii, and you can get Star Fox 64 3D for the 3DS. And I'm like, if you're looking to pick one, if you got a Wii U, I suggest you picking up the Wii U version.
I think I'd agree with that too. And it's also less coins.
Yeah, and it's because it's basically the same game. They didn't really alter that much, other than new controls and stuff like that. If I was picking out any, if you got a Wii U,
oh my god!
Let's see. If you want to pick up something, you can pick up. For me, if you want to pick up if you want to pick up a couple of cheap games, definitely pick up Doc Lewis's Punch Out for the Wii U, Earthbound, and those are pretty good. If you want to pick a full game, you can I cannot recommend enough. A Wonderful 101. That game needs more love, and thank God it's on this list. For 3DS. For the lower range games, you can pick up Quimby. Metroid 2 definitely is a must. You did a review on that one, Jared. And definitely pick up Zelda's Link Awakening. That game's amazing. That's a game I think everybody should have. Kid Icarus 3D Classics is also pretty good too. They fix up a lot of those problems. And as far as full games go, you can't go wrong with New Super Mario Brothers 2 and Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Sorry, real life related stuff.
Sorry.
That's what editing and post is for.
Yep. It's definitely one of those things where the list of games is pretty awesome, and if you have the points, go for it. I've wanted to add Link's Awakening DX to my 3DS for a while now, considering I already have Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
Well, now you can get the trilogy.
Yep. So that's the first thing on my shopping list. After that, I'm not 100% certain. I mean, some of these games I owned when I was a kid, like Mario Land and Mario Land 2. I was hoping that they'd have some Kirby games up there for the 3DS. Because Kirby's always kind of a thing to jump into, but no Kirby.
I'm surprised that 3D Classics Kirby's not in here. And it's actually a really good game.
But I may hunt after some of the Kid Icarus games. It might be kind of fun to just have those change of pace.
Alright. Well, I guess Miguel is with baby issues, so it's is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, there really isn't much else on my news list. If there's anything else on your news list, we can drop it now. Otherwise, we can go to the interview.
No, that's pretty much about it for me. I was gonna say we can have a discussion, but I think we went on for a little bit too long with a lot of this stuff, so I think we're pretty good. Why don't we cut it off here and head off to our interview?
Alright. Well, right now we're going to head off to our interview. Right now we're going to head off to our interview with Seth from Proletariat Games. So stay tuned for that right now. And that's the part where I start editing this part out. It's 54 minutes. Okay.
Hang on.
Yes, people listening live, the view was
Jared.
what?
Sorry, I did that whole boom, so that way you get that little spike in case you start editing and lose your place again.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so that way you can see that spike, and you should be like, okay, that's cut. Or you listen to him. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it properly this time. We're going to go backwards. So I'll make a note when we start. I'll cut that immediately when we're done with the little chatty part here. But we
Fucking
can
New Jersey already got new 3DS XLs.
because they fill up the truck, if you know what I mean.
No, like that's at Walmart, but like I'm pretty sure that's gonna be knocked over soon.
Whee! Wait, what's up, Ramses? I didn't catch that.
It's already been reported in New Jersey they're already selling the new 3DS XL.
What? They're breaking street date?
Yes, they already broke street date. Those goddamn Goombas. Here, I'm gonna post it here in the chat.
Someone in New
Here.
Jersey broke street date for the new 3DS XLs.
So it's right there on the.
I want a clip of you like being angry at the Goombas, and I just want it to cut to some Goombas. Go, they always blame it on us. It was a friggin' buzzy beetle, but they always blame it on us.
It's the goddamn that's the paratroopers, man. Like they always, but they don't know. They always blame the Goombas. I don't know why. We don't do it. We just standing here.
Yeah, we got wings too, you know.
We got tails, we got wings too, but you can do what you always do. You always blame us. What's up with that, man?
He's got this really good boot. I like my cousin's boot.
I'm imagining now, like all the monsters in Super Mario just being like Goodfellas. I don't know why.
Well, it's kind of how I did their voices when I played Super Mario RPG. Made all the different members of Bowser's army have the different voices based on whatever their species was.
You want to play too?
I know.
But I already posted a link there on our there on the Twitch chat. Yeah. God damn it! I just we need to take a road trip.
What, to New Jersey?
Yeah.
I think Jared's the one who went to New Jersey earlier than anybody else.
I could get there if I drove in the blizzard. I could maybe get there in 5 hours. If it wasn't snowing, at least it's snowing. I could get there a lot faster, but the snow is going to make that trip a pain in the butt. Ooh. But yeah, stupid Xenoblade Chronicles having to just run up to me and go, oh, and then run off.
Okay,
I'm like,
so, Ramses, have you been watching
Shulk, you shall have yours someday, Shulk.
Rami,
Crack
Yes.
knuckle.
have you been watching the stream?
Yes, I've been watching the stream.
Have you been seeing all the little nuance game references that were in this game?
Yeah, and the thing is, I wanted to talk about it, but the thing is, it's like we're in the middle of the show, and it's like that's what you know what. I think this is what's tripping me out. Why I kept on calling it why I kept on saying Zelda instead of Metroid, because like this game totally reminded me of Zelda 2. Like when you die, it does the flashing thing, and it's like I don't know. It just reminds me of Zelda. It reminds me of Zelda meets Castlevania with like.
Look at some of the enemies. You have a blue hedgehog that does a spin dash to attack you.
Yes. And then you have a fairy.
You have fairies that if you get close to them, they have hey listen, and they damage you.
Something not Sonic the Hedgehog.
I came across an elf-looking guy who talked to me saying, you know, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yeah, I saw that, and he gave you one goddamn coin. Fucking bastard. Oh my god, that fairy gives you damage. What the fuck?
Anyways, I'm gonna stop it there, and then we can go into the show, and then I'll bring my thoughts.
Yeah, on this, and next Persephone. So you got 2 games to talk about in a little segment here. I'll do some magical editing, and we'll figure it out.
You can
Just cut out watch else. Might do that. Okay, now I'm
like
finally
Miguel magically finds a way to like make me buy a game.
Well, Miguel has an eye out for really good like indie adventure games. Though he does a lot of those roguelikes, which aren't really my thing, but This looks like a lot of... Oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm just watching this little clip here, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Little boss fight he's doing. This bird thingy. No, you have died.
All the time I was fighting this fucking boss, and I completely forgot the boss prior. I ended up getting a fireball magnet, which is very useful.
Yeah, that. Oh, yeah, he's just like three-shotted him. Boss hard. Yep.
Okay, so
Love the aesthetic of this. Oh, that charge up reminds me of Crystalis. I know a lot of people probably didn't play, but
Jared,
your little charge up thing totally reminds me of Crystalis. It's kind of awesome.
Let's get to closing out the show because I don't know how long we've been running.
Yeah, we can continue at any time. Okay, nowish. And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that interview. And right now, we're going to go into a fun segment called Miguel Talks About Video Games.
Or as we like to call the... I don't know, we haven't got up a funny, clever name for our review section yet. But,
We haven't yet, but we'll work on it. Right now, it's Miguel Talks.
We'll figure it out. Anyways, right now I want to give my thoughts and shout-outs for Castle in the Darkness. First off, that I've been playing throughout our live stream, and if you were here, you would see that Matt Cap was in our chat room for a little while, hanging out, watching the stream as we played, and it's so far it's awesome to have developers in our live stream while we live stream their game, which is awesome.
It was a complete shock to me that I got that I just sent out a tweet, hey, you're Matt Cap, hey, we're playing the game, you want to check us out? And it's like, hey, there you are, sweet! that was totally shocking, but yeah, it's a very different environment, because, like, and it's sad that he gives a little bit more insight as to what's going on, because, like, the more I look at this game, there are a lot more, like, little in-ons, as you said, so why don't you keep on going?
So to go on, the gameplay is pretty simple. It's your basic NES type of controller with your, one button jump, one button attack, directional pad, movements.
That's all you need sometimes.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You have your death counter when you die. You have pretty simple RPG mechanics to the game, which, all in all, it's easy. It has a difficulty level, but not a bus-breaking difficulty level as some infinite death games are.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the fun factor like how Rogue Legacy is, where even though you die, it's not frustrating because it's just decently fun. The one thing I gotta give to Matt for this is the inclusion of a lot of video game references in this game, mostly from Zelda to Sonic the Hedgehog to even Ghostbusters. Becky noticed a painting in the museum early on in the game.
Yeah, Mila Carpisian was there.
Yeah, Ghostbusters too. Yeah. You have fairies that annoy you by saying, "Hey, listen," and there's just so much references here.
Well, what's interesting, the one thing I noticed that I don't know if it's accidental, but when you're charging up to do your little magic attack, the little energy charge looks very similar to the charge in Crystalis when you charge up your sword to do your more powerful elemental attacks.
Yeah, I would take it more as like Mega Man type, because that was in my head.
But Mega Man, okay, well, yeah, because when you go to X, you start getting like a aura thing around you when you charge up. But the original aura, you just flickered. You're having a little energy charge into you thing. I'm like, oh, it reminds me of crystals.
Yeah.
But yes, right.
on.
So pretty much my final thoughts are: game is definitely a must. If you get a chance to pick it up as soon as you can right now on Steam. It's on sale for 17% off for $4.95, I believe, although the regular price is at $5.99. So get it right now. It's at the introductory price for the new games that get released. So get
Is
it right
this is this earning the coveted indie game of the month, or are we holding that one off?
Well, it's up there. It's up there. I'll tell you that right now. We're at the beginning of February, so.
That's true. We are. It'd be kind of early to call it, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's too early to call it, but it is in the running for it. That's how I'm gonna say it is for sure.
All right.
And the other game we got a review copy was the next Penelope. Jared, you have the specs for that on development and everything, right?
Shoot, not on me right now. No, not off the top of my head, unfortunately. But talk about the game. I will find the developer.
Okay, well,
I got it right here.
Or Ramsey's game. Either way.
Okay, well, the next Penelope is a game that takes Greek references, Odysseus, and the like. And you can see this is going to be short. I do not really enjoy the game fully as other indie games that I've played. It's a top-down racer for a majority of the game. Well, there's some racing, bullet firing stuff, and some mechanics that you do here and there. And the game is solid. I'll give it that. There's nothing wonky, nothing buggy about it, nothing feels rushed. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not a top-down racer games are not what I enjoy playing. I enjoy playing games like how I'm playing now. Castle in the Darkness, side-scroller, RPG stuff. Bullet hells are a big thing that I like as well too, because they're challenging and it makes you think on your feet. The last 2 levels of the next Penelope is like a bullet hell game, which is what I enjoyed at the end of it. And more I wish is, I wish that if this was a game kind of like how it was explained to Jared when we got our review copy for it, is that it was a bullet hell. It didn't feel that way until the final 2 stages.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because that's what it looked like. That's kind of how I understood it, which is otherwise I would have probably grabbed into it first, and I was kind of surprised that was only the last 2 stages. That's weird that it would switch the style so drastically near the end.
Yeah, which is fine. You know, if that's how you want to have a final boss fight to go with, because it was a final boss fight. So I know sometimes there's some games that change the gameplay mechanics for a final boss fight to make it more epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's not my cup of tea. It wasn't the thing. It's like the top-down racers like you find at that arcade game, you know, with the steering wheel, that Rad Racer or whatever it was called. I forget the name of that.
Well, Rad Racer wasn't a top-down, but it's more like RC Pro-Am. Rock and Roll Racing was in that style.
Yeah.
I think those are probably the 2 most well-known examples. Oh, Iron Man Stewart's Off-Road was also in that category.
Yeah.
Try to say that last time. Could that guy have like a harder to say like name and nickname set up? But yeah, it's kind of weird that I didn't know. It just seems kind of confusing to me that the game would be like that. Have like the switch and stuff like that inside there.
So yeah, well, my final verdict with the game is it's not something that I'd play, and it's not something I would recommend to people who have my place, that, you know, have my taste in games. There are people out there that like those type of games though, and as much fun, they'll have fun with it. It's not my cup of tea.
Okay. So for what its genre is, it's good, but just not your taste.
Yep.
Not your cup of tea. So like how I like when I reviewed Phoenix Rage, it's like this isn't really much of my game, but I can see where its fans are really enjoying it.
Yeah, it recently won an award at some festival. I can't remember which one, but I know Phoenix Rage recently won an award. So there's obviously some people that really like it. It's just really strange when we get our review copies. I send them to people who just aren't into that genre, and I'm like, oh, my bad.
I think I just saw recently that they a fairly popular review site just put up a thing on the next Penelope, and I was like, oh, hey, interesting. And we're talking about this, and they have a video up too. But yeah, you know, it's for different show for different people. And looking at the game, I can't put my finger up, but I can see where the influence is, but just like I can see where it's like stick to one thing and just use it.
Yeah. Because my big excitement was, for those who don't know, my Twitter name is Jared the Greek, and I'm actually part of my ethnicity is Greek. So when they had a Greek-themed game, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I looked at it, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like my style of game, but I'll throw it up for Ramses and Miguel to, try it out. And then to find out that, once I found out more about what it was, I was just kind of like, oh, that's even less my style of game. I was hoping for something a lot more epic and cool. If you're into racers and you don't mind a couple bullet hell stages, then probably check it out. Otherwise, I'd probably lean towards some of the games that Miguel's been into with his side scrollers and what have you.
That's pretty much it for us here.
Yep. So I'll wrap up with all the plugs, because that's what I do. For more Scarlet Rhapsody podcasts, go to scarlet-rhapsody.com. To check out our Twitter page, go to @SR_Secret Stage. To check out our Twitch, if you haven't already been doing so, it is twitch.tv/Secret Stage. We do a Saturday and a Sunday show. And if you have our Twitter or our Facebook, you'll get more updates for our times on those. Our Facebook is, of course, is that Secret Stage Show or Secret Stage Podcast?
Secret Stage Games.
Secret Stage Games, excuse me. Our YouTube is under Secret Stage Games as well, so you can check that out. And I think that covers everything.
Yeah.
So
the last thing I wanna plug in here is TruForceToy's Mega Man X figure Kickstarter. Go and support it. There's 3 weeks left on it, 21 days. They are halfway there to their goal of being able to mass produce a figure. Get on there. It's still available to get. If you donate $180 to their Kickstarter, you can get both figures of the exclusive Kickstarter color variant, which is a awesome gray and orange coloration look, and you also get the classic blue bomber Mega Man X look as well. We will provide links to the Kickstarter on our YouTube page when the video goes live, and I believe as well on our podcast page, right, Jerry?
Yeah, we should have that. So yeah, check out the links below. There's a lot of cool stuff. And special thanks go to Seth for doing an interview with us today. And you can check out World Zombination. It has a limited release, but it's going to be going into major release very soon. So.
And also special thanks to Matt, who joined us for a little while on our stream while we live streamed and talked about our podcast. He took off for a while, but he'll probably be back later to join in again. Probably will.
Yeah. So until next time, this is Jared for Miguel, Ramses, background Becky, and baby Miguel saying game over and winners don't use drugs.
You're fighting Frog from Chrono Trigger. What the fuck?
I know, right? Yes.